I really need help deciding if I want to purchase this palette or not. This is not meant to be a dupe video, or I do not actually have the BH Cosmetics palette, so this is not swatching that. If you are new to my purchase or past series, this is more of a make up your mind to help both you and I determine if we already have colors that are similar to this palette, or if they are different enough that we can purchase and have, well, we can purchase whatever we want. But if it's different enough for me, at least, to feel like, yes, I should purchase it. As you saw from the title, today we are focusing on one of the new BH Cosmetics palette that is out for Christmas. Can you believe it already? And I tried to keep it to a minimum of palettes that I'm going through, that I was able to pull the colors from these that I thought were kind of similar, maybe not. So we have the e.l.f. Electric Mood, the Pixie and Tina Young, Milani Gilded Jewel, and then the Makeup Revolution, the Friends. And at the end of this video, let me know, do you think that I should purchase or pass based on these, and what are you going to do? Get into it. My name is Stacy. If you haven't been here before, if you're returning, thank you so much for coming on back. Color number 1, we are the Makeup Revolution, the Friends. This is the I'll Be There Forever. And if I have any videos dedicated to any of these palettes that I mentioned, those will always be linked in the cards or down below. So the color Dirty Day I thought was very similar to this, and I feel like if you probably have a warm tone palette, you probably have a color that's very similar to this. So color number 2, I thought, if we're sticking with the Makeup Revolution Friends, the Kips next to it, this one a little bit tiny more pinkish than the beige one, but it looks very similar. I think so. Or if you have this Pixie in the Tina Young, the second color in. The second one in I thought looked the closest as far as when you compare them to the pan. Again, this one might be a little bit pinker. It looks like the BH one is a little bit more peach, but you get the idea. And this second color to the end, and like I said, I went through my collection and these were the closest that I felt like. Theirs look a little bit more maybe coppery. Man, I'm like 3 colors in and I'm thinking they're close, but I don't have much from BH Cosmetics, but let's keep moving. Color number 4, we are going with the e.l.f.'s Electric Mood and the Makeup Revolution. And the e.l.f. one, oh, these names are so hard to read. They're in white lettering, but braided. And in the Makeup Revolution one, Yeti. That Yeti color is so soft. So this is the Yeti one, and that's the e.l.f. one. I think the Yeti one is a little bit of a closer. So from that one, the Tiara. If you have the Makeup Revolution Friends, Ick. This is Tiara, and that's Ick. Or if you have that Pixie one, the first one in the second row. The Milani is definitely the softest out of those 3. And I think I'm going to go with the Milani as far as swatching. I think that one is, they're all very similar, but I feel like that one is the closest one. At number 6, we're going back to the e.l.f. Electric Moods palette and Sweetie. For number 7, from the Pixie one, you have this yellow one down here. Or from the e.l.f., this is God's Grills. The Pixie one feels softer. The e.l.f. one has a little bit more of like the brassy gold undertone, so I think that one is the best match. And for number 8, we're looking at 3 of the palettes again. So from Makeup Revolution, Race Car Bed. This color is so soft. It is a little bit of chunky. If you do have this, you have to be a little bit careful going into it because it's very easy to like really dig deep into it too much. Or if you have the Pixie one, this middle row, the middle color, or in the Milani, the Crown. I think the closest one is the Makeup Revolution. That one I feel like has the most of that copper undertone. Please let me know if you guys enjoy this series. I have gotten mostly good feedback, but I have also gotten some feedback that people don't really understand since I'm not actually like showing the new palette. But I can't afford to buy all the new releases, but I want to look at them and still talk about them and try to be more mindful in my purchases. So let me know if you guys think that this is helpful or not. It's helpful for me, so I'm doing these exercises anyway for myself. For number 9, which is called Unwrapped, I thought that makes me think of wrapping paper, obviously. So I thought let's throw in some trivia on about wrapping paper. Like, where did it start? When did it start? What's the story on it? So how did wrapping paper and the whole tradition of using it to wrap gifts even come about? Hallmark in 1917. They ran out of tissue paper and they substituted it for the inside lining from envelopes. And the customers loved it, and bam, an industry was born. So for that pretty pink color, if you have the Pixie, we're going the second row, second color. If you have the Elf is Shy. So I think the Pixie one is a little bit of a closer match. Staying with the same palettes for number 10, this second row, last shade there, or in the Elf one, it's going to be the first row, last color, which is Crimson Shim, I think. That is the Pixie color right here. For number 11, the Elf, the central line, this one in the middle here. This one is a little bit of a brighter, it's got like a little bit more bright red to it than it looks like the BH one, but very, very similar, I think, judging from their swatches. I think that the Milani one is a little bit of a closer match, and again, that color, this whole row, they're metallics, they're really soft, and you just have to be gentle when you're dipping into them. Right, number 13 is an icy grayish blue, and the closest I had was the Elf Electric Mood, and this is Winter. Because most of my other blues were either too blue or they were too silver, and I think that this one is still a little bit too blue. Number 14, that one was a little bit of a challenging color, I'm not gonna lie, because it's gray, it's blue, it's silver, and again, most of my colors were either too blue or too silver, but the Milani, the Gilded Jewel, we're going in with Iced Out. Okay, so for number 15, this was a tricky one too, because at first I thought the Milani one, but then that was almost too royal blue, and then some of the Pixie ones were too like turquoise. So the Elf, the last color there, Turquoise Shift, was the closest that I got. The Elf one is a little bit more royal blue than the BH, and it looks like this Elf one has a little bit more shimmer than the BH one. For the last color, actually, before we get to that, let me know if you're liking this video, then give me a thumbs up down below and let me know in the comments. But if you have the Milani one, the blue in there, see how it's just too dark, I feel like too bright. You could get the same vibe, but I felt like the closest more so was the Pixie last row, second color. This one might be a little bit more gray than the blue in the BH. So I have thoughts. Let me finish swatching this and I'll tell you my thoughts. So here is my swatches. And you know, like the upper part of the palette, I feel like I have close representation. It's enough. The bottom half of the palette, while I still have some blues there, I feel like it might be different enough that maybe it could be a purchase. I'm trying to decide. I want to pick one palette of, well, maybe more than one, but one for sure of the series where then I actually do get the palette and I come back and compare it to what I thought and see like how close I was. I thought that that would be interesting. What do you think? So I don't know. Like, I can't believe we're talking about Christmas already, but I'm on the fence with this one. I don't know. What do you guys think? Are you gonna get it? Are you gonna not get it? But let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. And thank you so much for watching. I hope that you are enjoying this series. And yes, if you haven't already, please consider subscribing. It does help me and help the channel grow. Thank you so much, and have a good morning, afternoon, evening, and I hope you come back and see me here. So thanks. See you next time. Bye.